Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we saw the true war games on Wednesday. It is Lost to the Midcard. Here we are. We're back after a week off. I basically spent the entire past 2 weeks moving. I am exhausted, but finally done as of today, May 6th. Now the fun part begins where I got a whole lot of crap to put away and figure out. But, I got time to do that, but we will be talking wrestling here. Blood and Guts happened last night, May 5th. We will break that down. We will talk about Impact, which we just saw literally ended 10 minutes ago. And we'll cover the rest of TV and some headlines this week, and including some interesting news from Fightful Select a couple of days ago. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday, but this week is special, so it's always good to subscribe as you're getting a special Friday episode of Lost in the Midcard this week. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the bell so you're notified there also when new episodes come your way, and just help us out because we want to get to 100 so we can have our own special little so I can tell you to go to youtube.com/Lost in the Midcard instead of having to go to Facebook and Twitter. So help us get to 100 at least so we can get that taken care of. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Doing all right. It's been a long week. I'm tired.
Yeah, I've been
You're tired.
Yeah.
We're all tired.
We're all tired. Yeah, I go back to work tomorrow, but I get my second vaccination tomorrow, so it's going to be a short day. So hopefully it doesn't kick my ass.
I'm a few weeks away on my second vaccination, so.
So yeah, I'm literally working probably half a day after having a week off, basically, from work. So, it is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't kick my ass and I have a shitty Saturday, but at least that shit usually passes within a day if it does. So, it's all good. We're not going to cover it in detail, but before we get to Impact on Access, Rebellion happened a couple weeks ago. Did you like it overall, Matt?
From what I remember, I did. I mean, look, there's so much wrestling content weekly at this point. Like, I don't remember. I think I remember enjoying it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise with the winner there. I think I picked the X Division winner with Josh Alexander. What did you see out of W. Morrissey? Did you like his Impact debut?
I wish it was with Enzo.
Right. Of course, now his gimmick is fuck that goofy shit, as he had in the promo tonight. But
I was busy with other things. I saw next to none of Impact tonight.
Oh, okay.
So.
It was a good. You should go back and watch it on the Impact Plus app, which I have found they put out the this week's episode. They put it out like a couple hours later, if not sooner, which is very fucking cool. Because I watched it that way last week when we got rid of our cable box. Then I moved, and now I'm on YouTube TV. So I watched Impact tonight via Twitch through Chromecast, so I could still have it on the big screen with the surround sound. So, and it worked really well. It had a one little hiccup. Right now I'm on fiber internet now. I've upgraded to 500 megs of internet, which is just an amazing thing. I can only imagine what a gig is like for through the fiber. But I'm not going to gig. I'm gonna that's like $30 more, and 500 megs is just perfectly fine for little old me here. So that's
Fiber uppercut.
Yeah, like I had a 5 gig update on PlayStation. 60 seconds it got done. I was like, "Ooh, I like this stuff." Rhino, Violent by Design against Saban in qualifier for the 6-way at Under Siege. When is Under Siege? Is that a week from Saturday?
I think it's May 15th. So yeah, a week from this Saturday.
Okay. Good card shaping up for that Impact Plus show too. Chris Sabin getting the win. Pretty cool to see him in that 6-way. Last week, God, I forget because we didn't have a show. Cardona, Trey Miguel, and Chris Bay. That sound about right?
I know they're all in the match. I can't tell you if that was last week or this week. I know Cardona was last week.
Yeah. Taylor Wilde took on Susan. God, Taylor Wilde for being gone from wrestling for 10 years looks phenomenal in the ring. I gotta say, very impressed.
It's whatever. I didn't like her the first time around, and I don't really think my opinion's going to change on this go around either. So
I like her in the ring though, but that theme music is a little odd.
It's terrible.
It is odd.
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Taylor Wilde probably.
Well, then she needs to get her head examined. Because it's trash.
Looks like Under Siege, we're going to have either Rosemary or Havoc take on Deonna Purrazzo, and then probably, I bet, build up to Taylor Wilde at the next big pay-per-view. Slammiversary would be the next one, July.
Yep. 3 days after all them no competes expire, pal.
Oh, that tease. I very much think we will see Chelsea Green. Joe is, I think Joe's going to AEW. I think Jericho's been, pushing. I saw a headline that Jericho's been pushing for Joe. I don't know if it was a Fightful headline, but I saw a headline in the last couple of days that Jericho's going hard to Tony Khan to get Joe over. And well, we all know Jericho has some pull with Tony Khan. So
a little bit. But no, I think I don't think Impact can financially employ Samoa Joe for any long given period of time.
No, so it could be a short.
I could see him going there for like a pay-per-view one-off in a set of tapings, type of deal. But like back there full time, like there ain't no fucking way. Like that's not happening.
Matt wasn't watching the video. I was pimping my Samoa Joe shirt just now.
So
we got a video vignette from W. Morrissey, who good to see him in nationally televised wrestling once again, getting his shit together, looking good in the ring. I thought looking a lot like Edge, a little scary.
Edge.
I wonder if his career path can maybe mirror that of Drew McIntyre, who also went to Impact and turned things around after the 3-man band. Rohit Raju, Trey Miguel had a good match. See, that was the qualifier for the 6-man, so it was not Trey Miguel that was wrestling last week. I forget now who's in that 6-man now, but I'm trying to think because there was a Swingers Palace with everybody in it. Fuck, I don't know. I'll figure it out some way. But Trey Miguel, Rohit, very good match there. Definitely one to check out. Let's see if I can figure out who the fuck's in this 6-man.
I was gonna say, if you really care that much, go to Impact's Twitter account. I'm sure the graphics there.
Yeah. They got,
like I said, dude, I saw maybe, if I'm lucky, I saw 5 minutes of Impact tonight. I had other things to do, and that's what DVR is for. So
who did I leave out? Oh, Sami Callihan defeated somebody last week.
But he didn't, because the match ended in a no contest, so I'm not really sure how they're going with that, but all right, whatever.
Oh, that's right. With Eddie And
like Omega ran in and attacked both of them. Like, how is Sammy awarded that? That doesn't make any sense. Unless they explain that on the show at some point tonight when I wasn't watching.
No. Because Eddie's involved in there's a 6-man that was just announced with Kenny and the brothers.
Yeah, they announced that after Impact last week.
Yeah.
But that match ended in a no contest. Like, Sammy didn't win that match. So that doesn't make any sense that he's in that match unless they had some kind of explanation during the show tonight to explain that. And if they didn't, that's a gigantic storyline hole that doesn't make a lick of sense.
No, I figured it'd turn out. I completely forgot about the non-finish. Obviously, I've been a lot going on in my life the last week or so. And some semi-breaking news from earlier today. Moose saying his contract's up next month.
It's true.
A lot of contracts up. A lot of people fired. Oh, and then there's Daniel Bryan. How about that bombshell? Contract ended.
Yeah, did not see that coming.
We'll just jump the line real quick. Contract ended after the Roman Reigns match. And apparently WWE is furiously trying to get him re-signed. Otherwise, he could have just show up anywhere right now at any time because contract's up. No 90-day.
Yeah, look, if 100% legit, if his contract is up, there's no 90-day. It's done. Like, when the contract expires, you're free to go. If he wanted to show up on Dynamite last night, he could have.
Yep.
I mean, that's basically, the position that he's in right now. And honestly, if I'm AEW and I sign him, I'm bringing him in at Double or Nothing, and I'm not saying a fucking word.
No.
I'm having Omega and Cassidy, and after Omega wins, he's celebrating in the ring,
and the final countdown hits. Oh my God.
Omega's like, what the fuck? And Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, comes on the stage, and that's how you end the fucking paper.
And it's gonna be a full house at Daly's place for Double or Nothing.
Exactly. Man, I would not look. If they get him, I would not say a fucking word.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Nothing would be said. He would just show up.
I wonder if Khan's already a while back secured the final countdown rights.
Well, there's no reason to secure it if you were ever going to get Daniel Bryan. But
just in case,
look, that's an expensive thing to get just in case.
Well,
like, I have a feeling to secure the rights of Europe's The Final Countdown, probably not a cheap endeavor. So, yeah, I don't think he went and did that. But seriously, if this is true, like, to me, like, Khan would be out of his mind not to get this deal done.
Yeah.
If he can get in this summer, if he can sign Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan in the same fucking summer, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Then look, maybe you bring in the Iconics. Maybe you bring in Mickey James. I mean,
maybe you bring in Nick Aldis with Mickey James.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Little partnership, a little Forbidden Doorski. How about WWE trying to play Forbidden Door with MLW?
Yeah, and until they probably saw that season finale and like, yeah, maybe we don't want to play with them anymore.
What happened? I haven't seen it, and I haven't watched.
I'm not even discussing it.
All right.
Well, but it's I'm telling you, like, Daly's place, if it had a roof,
it'd be blown off.
It would be blown off at Double or Nothing if Daniel Bryan comes out following Omega and Cassidy.
I don't know why, but
it would be absolute fucking insanity. And they could look. All it calls for is Tony Khan to open up his checkbook.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Bryan's really out of the deal, don't tell me that there ain't at least 3/4 of that AEW roster that don't have Daniel Bryan's contact information.
Oh,
like you can't tell me that Khan and Daniel Bryan have not already spoken at some point this week.
Oh yeah.
Like even if it wasn't, even if it was just a hey, do you have any interest type of phone call, I guarantee you those two men spoke at some point this week.
Guaranteed. Yep.
Guaranteed.
I don't know why.
Because Tony Khan would be an idiot not to.
I don't know why, but since the move, my soundboard sounds louder.
Sounds normal to me.
In my ear, it's louder, but hey.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah.
That just might be your computer settings you need to fix. To me, it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't care that it's loud. They're 2-second clips, for crying out loud. Back to AEW. Doc Ellis took on Juice Robinson one-on-one action there with the big LG with a sweet-ass power bomb to finish that off. Omega, the Good Brothers attack Finn Juice afterwards. Eddie Edwards comes in to make the save, and but Kenya and the brothers leave them all laying. Scott D'Amore makes it official. Havoc and Rosemary set for next week. Winner faces Deonna Purrazzo at Under Siege. No word yet if Steven Seagal will make an appearance at Under Siege.
Stop it.
The Forbidden Door continues to be cracked wide open. El Phantasmo, I have not seen a lot of, but the little I have seen, the dude is different. He is impressive as hell. I'm a big fan of his, just from the little I've seen. Matt, what are have you seen much of him?
No, truthfully not.
VSK, a guy that's been wrestling on Dark a lot, and also he's wrestled on Beyond and Wrestle Pro. VSK making his Impact debut as well against El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo looking pretty damn good there in his Impact debut. So be interesting to see what they do with him. We have ourselves Impact Knockouts tag champions, new tag champions, Rachel Ellering and Jordan Grace. One-on-one action, Rachel Ellering took on Akira Hogan. I don't know if it's been made official yet, but I'm pretty sure that this will be a match, tag title match at Under Siege if it's not already been made official. And then a main event, Moose James Storm. Great main event, great psychology working on the leg of James Storm by Moose. I thought they did that really well. Very good match. Storm hit the last call super kick, but he was hurt so bad he couldn't cover. Referee Brian Hebner was about ready to just call the match because Storm couldn't even get up. But you know, Storm eventually got up, and when he got up, he ate the spear by Moose, and so Moose moves on to the 6-way. After the match, Moose grabs a steel chair and puts it over Storm's knee and stomps right on it. Come on, Chris Sabin, you got it out there any faster? Anyways, so your 6-way is set. I don't know why they didn't make it a 7-way, Matt, like your point is with Eddie, but they're putting Eddie in the 6-man with the elite. So fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if they explained it at all either, because I was also half setting up the computer. Like I hadn't set up the green screen. I had to put the lamp that is in front of me up and shit. And so there might have been a time that I caught it and just missed it. AEW Blood and Guts last night, and we kick things off with Don Callis saying that Kenny Omega is not here and not going to wrestle, so Michael Nakazawa is going to have to wrestle 2-on-1 against Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. Kingston Moxley make their entrance, and oh look, there's Omega hitting them from behind with the title belt. Decent little match, but to nobody's surprise, Nakazawa was in there to eat the pin. Oddly enough, that does count for an L on Omega's record, though. His win-loss record. After the match, the Young Bucks, actually Kenny Omega had bailed, and left Nakazawa by himself. The Good Brothers show up and attacked Moxley and Kingston from behind, thanks to a distraction from the Young Bucks. And so then they just completely laid out Kingston and Moxley while Brandon Cutler was filming it for BTE. Nobody could have helped him, Matt. Nobody out there want to help Mox and Kingston.
Who wants to go against the Elite right now? And let's face it, Mox and Kingston has pretty much defined their entire AEW careers as being loners.
Yeah,
they don't get along well with others, and nobody trusts Kingston as far as they can throw him.
Don't play well with others.
So yeah, they've kind of done this to themselves. They're kind of two men against the world. No one really wants to get in the crosshairs of the Elite, so they just stay the fuck out of it. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Official for Double or Nothing on May 30th. Hikaru Shida takes on Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, which
heard that got one of the biggest pops of the night from the live crowd at Daly's last night was that graphic announcement.
Yeah, outside of the Blood and Guts opening, where the crowd was hot for that, you almost have to expect a title change here. It's time. Yeah, it's time. I thought Cody and QT had a good little match there, Matt.
It was whatever.
I know you're not a big QT fan, but I thought they had a pretty good match. A Go-Go comes out and hits him in the old ribs. His old finishing shot there. Probably your Double or Nothing match is going to be that, because I think Cody Rhodes said he on next week's Dynamite he's going to make an announcement for Double or Nothing, so I'm going to guess that's going to be a Go-Go, don't you think?
Yeah, probably. And look, I'm just going to say this right now. I never want to see Cody Rhodes beat anybody with the Crossroads ever again. Because if he couldn't fucking put away QT fucking job ass Marshall with it, it shouldn't beat anybody.
Hey, he was undefeated.
I should be able to kick out of the fucking Crossroads, okay? He just ruined his own fucking finishing move by letting QT. No, dude, he tapped out to a fucking figure 4 afterwards, okay?
QT's undefeated in this year, so.
He tapped out to a fucking figure 4. Cody Rhodes ain't fucking Ric Flair.
Woo!
No.
He knows Ric Flair, though.
Dude, him kicking out of the Crossroads, to me, destroyed every shred of credibility that finishing move has. I never want to see it beat anybody ever again. That's about as good as the fucking what's Baron Corbin's signature move? Not the End of Days, but his other one, Deep Six. It's Deep Six. It's Sami Zayn's Blue Thunder Bomb. That's what it is now. It's the move that he hits and everybody always kicks out on too. I never want to see Rhodes beat I never want to see Cody beat anybody with the Crossroads ever again. He ruined that move last night. He has no one to blame but himself because he's trying to get his little buddy over who really isn't fucking over.
Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky interviewed, and Darby Allin crashes the party and starts fighting. Kind of cool up in the upper deck of Daly's place. We haven't really seen that happen. A fight happen there. It ends with Sky and Page tossing Darby downstairs. Ow, that had to fucking hurt.
Darby's out of his fucking mind.
He is out of his mind. I mean, he wanted to probably take that bump, but
yeah, I know. But look, there's some point where Tony Khan just has to step in and yeah, we're not going to do that.
He did a coffin drop off of a well-placed ladder up there too. Of course, that might be a ladder to get up to the lighting rig or cameras or something.
Yeah. I think that's genuinely part of the Daly's Place building.
Yeah. Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Julia Hart, making her Dynamite debut. She made her Dark debut last week or this week. Very quick match there.
Somebody gonna get their ass whipped. Somebody gonna get the rig split.
Yeah, somebody's making a comeback too. Somebody's lost 80 pounds.
He wants to have one match in this decade. So,
any idea who? I mean, I know you listen to Busted Open a lot.
I mean, he's teased a whole bunch of shit, But I think he'll end up doing something with WWE. I can't imagine him going elsewhere.
Well, that's what I meant. Is there anybody that you think, any inklings of who you think he would is going to fight then?
A couple weeks ago, Randy Orton would have made sense, but given Orton's current storyline right now, it doesn't.
Bro,
So
what do you think of RK, bro? I love it.
I think it's the best thing on Monday Night Raw, hands down, and it's not even fucking close.
That's a low bar, but
well,
it keeps
low bar or not,
progressively.
it's still the facts, Jack.
It keeps progressively getting better week after week. Raw does, but it's still the drizzling shits overall. So because it was such a fucking low bar to crawl up from. Yeah. Taz breaking down Christian Cage video and showing him what he's been doing wrong. Fatal 4-way for the number one contendership. Not an eliminator match. Fatal 4-way, first pinfall gets the win. SCU, Jurassic Express, Varsity Blondes, Acclaimed, and SCU gets the win after a 10-minute match. Taking on the Young Bucks next week, and I guess that's the end of SCU, huh, Matt?
Yeah, because it's clear we're going towards. It's going to be Mox and Kingston against the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing. So, Look, there's an argument to be made here that since Mox and Kingston aren't ranked, and they would have a hell of a hard time to get ranked between now and the end of the month.
They cost the Bucks next week?
Maybe they cost the Bucks the titles to SCU, and Young Bucks against Mox and Kingston aren't even for the titles. I mean, it's possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility, because the only other way they can explain Mox and Kingston getting a tag title shot is like one of those like random ass battle royals.
Yeah.
For all the tag teams in there, and then they survive and win that. Because other than that, like,
they got to start winning some tag. They did win this week, so maybe that gets them ranked.
But one match, like one win match shouldn't get you a fucking title shot.
It did have Kenny Omega.
They also beat the Good Brothers recently as well, I believe, didn't they?
And
that's two wins.
That match had Kenny Omega in it, yeah. So maybe that's got some credence, even though not.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe the good doctor just is content being the behind the scenes guy now. I don't know. He still can do it though. I mean, for his age, so maybe he just wants to stop while he can still do it. Not
well. If SCU breaks up, they're not gonna stop wrestling.
True. You won't see Daniels that much though. You'll see Kaz, but you won't see Daniels that much.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know that for sure.
Is Daniels the head of talent relation?
I think so. It's something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I think it is. I would honestly love them to stay together and then join up with Sky and Paige, and I'll be heel. I wouldn't hate that. Would not hate that. Promo by Yuji Nagata. No, man. Nagata and Moxley next week are going to beat the fuck out of each other, and I'm here for it. So good. Forbidden Door continues to swing wide open for that. Kenny Omega interview. We learned that there will be a number one contenders match next week. But then we, after that was announced, we kind of wonder, why did they even have a number one contenders match when it's clear that Orange Cassidy is going to win next week against Pac? And after everything that we saw, I mean, they literally spent 5 minutes between, not 5, I'm probably kayfabing it, but they spent a good amount of time between Omega and Cassidy to not have him win next week. That's obvious, ain't it, Matt?
Well, they could do the time limit draw gimmick and turn it into a triple threat.
Oh,
which I actually think would be really fucking fun to see the three of those in a triple threat at Double or Nothing. I don't know if they're going to do it, but it would be a great swerve because everybody's expecting after last night, okay, we're getting Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega. But if they end up doing like a time limit draw and Kenny's like, I don't have to face any of you. And Tony's like, nah, you're going to face both of them now, in a triple threat. I think that would be really cool. I really do. I think that would be a great surprise that a lot of people wouldn't see coming.
Yeah. I think that would be a tremendous match. But man, we're getting triple threat overload. WWE is giving us triple threats up the ass too, man. But that would be an amazing match.
I don't mind triple. I know some people don't like triple threat matches. I don't mind triple threat.
I don't mind them.
I
They're
think
just
they're
being
fun.
done a lot lately, especially WWE's doing them a lot lately. But that's okay.
Yeah, but just because WWE is overdoing something, we shouldn't punish AEW if they want to do a triple threat match. You know what I mean?
After coming back from commercial, Tony Schiavone's still outside of the cage, and Miro shows up saying he's signed a contract to take the title from Darby Allin.
It's done.
Matt and I both have agreed that that's what's been going to happen for the past month now.
Bye, Darby.
Obviously, Darby, if he may not be able to compete, he forfeits the title. So
no, he's gonna fight. He's gonna lose.
He's gonna get squashed probably. It'll probably be quick.
Because they're gonna free up. They're gonna free him up so he can team up with Sting again and face Paige and Sky at Double or Nothing.
Yep.
So
who would have Miro face at Double or Nothing? Maybe Trent. I think Trent would be a good fits. It fits with the feud. They would have a great one-on-one match.
I honestly don't know. I don't know who I'd put in that spot.
Yeah. I think that, well, no, the TNT Challenger doesn't always have to be ranked, but they typically take them from the rankings. So.
Oh, the TNT Challenger definitely doesn't have to be ranked. They could literally use anybody.
It's more of an open challenge type of title, but yet they announce the open challenge. It's like announced ahead of time, but still more of an open challenge like title. Next week's Dynamite looks pretty fucking good. Darby Allin Miro for the TNT title. Orange Cassidy Pac winner gets the Omega at Double or Nothing. SCU and the Bucks for the AEW
tag titles.
This is like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like next week's card's ridiculous.
The in JPW US title on the line. Moxley and Nagata. Cody Rhodes makes his announcement. Jade Cargill gets an interview, probably setting up Cody Rhodes and Ogogo, and probably setting up Jade Cargill with a feud for Double or Nothing as well, I'm going to say. But damn, that's a great lineup.
I'm assuming this will reveal where Cargill's going to be, if somebody's going to manage her or not, or something along those lines. Because they've been teasing that people wanted to, like, they're trying to buy for her services and shit. I think whatever they do next week with her will build on that.
I know she keeps saying all along she doesn't want anybody, so I don't.
She said basically money talks and bullshit walks. Is essentially what she said. So she's looking for like a big money deal type of thing. So I don't know.
I think she should join.
I think it'd be very good for her to have a mouthpiece.
I think she should
because
join.
I would not trust her with a live mic.
I think she should join Team Taz, to be honest. That's who I think she should join faction wise.
I'd put her with the Factory.
Yeah, that'd be good. Doesn't really fit.
Because at this point,
the Factory is more though of people that came from the Factory. So
did she train there?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
I feel like she did.
No, she did not. AR Fox, who is Swerve, I think. Am I right? No. AR Fox.
Swerve and
AR Fox. AR Fox tagged with Swerve in Lucha. Dante Fox. He trained her. Yeah, Dante Fox, who's known as AR Fox, he teamed with Swerve, who was Killshot in Lucha Underground. And, it says trained by AR Fox and Dustin Rhodes. and Heath Miller. So she's been trained by a lot of people. She trained at AR Fox's WWA4 Academy, trained with Heath Miller and Richard Borger at their face-to-face wrestling school. So she's not from the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, but I guarantee you she's done some training there. I guarantee you she's been there. Like, I guarantee it.
Blood and guts, man. War Games. I mean, it was good. Some say the end where they went the top of the cage kind of took away from it, just because everybody.
Well, there's two things. There's two things. A lot of people didn't like the surrender finish
and the padding,
but these are also from people that are just brought up on WWE's version of what War Games is supposed to be, with no roof and pinfalls.
Yeah, I'm completely fine. I'm completely fine with the surrender finish.
So am I.
And of course,
my only issue is the terrible camera angle, which they used for Jericho's fall.
Yeah, and
because
also
the replays didn't look bad at all, but the specific camera angle they used, the close-up one when he fell, was the worst camera shot they could have used. What they should have done is they should have shot it from far away, and they would have had the up-close shot in the truck, and if it looked good, then they could have aired the up-close one on a replay.
Yeah.
They chose the wrong camera angle
and
to shoot that fall, and they fucked themselves. They shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, it gave the WWE mark something to make fun of them on.
Yeah, what else is new? Well, AEW is number one on cable for Wednesday. When's the last time NXT could ever say that? That's right, never.
They could barely trend number one on Twitter on Tuesdays. So, a lot of blood in this match.
Yeah, I heard actually a lot of guys in the match actually got busted open the hard way.
Oh,
that there was actually old school? There was more blood in that match than there was meant to be.
Did it like old Dusty did back in the day? Dusty and Flair and the Four Horsemen. If you look at Sammy Guevara's Instagram, oh man, there are bruises and stitches abound on his body.
That gash on his arm looked nasty.
Man.
Fucking nasty.
The crowd was so fucking hot, even from the get-go when it was Spears and Sammy. And it was tremendous. I just think going to the top of the cage took away from it, but I see why they did it, because they met it made it about the two leaders, which it kind of is, and of course to set up the big spot where man.
The main reason I didn't like them going up on the top of the cage was because it completely took the spotlight away from both groups.
Because nobody
and firmly put it on.
Nobody was doing anything down there.
Well, we don't know if anybody was doing anything down there or not, because they never fucking showed us anything.
No, I think reports came and said they were just standing there.
That's dumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But other than that, it was great to hear Shivani cuss on TV, I think for the first time. I don't think he's said shit before on.
I hate that piece of shit.
But the disdain that Tony has for MJF is so good, because you fully believe that he hates that son of a bitch. I just love his commentary when it comes to MJF. It is great. Anything else you want to talk about on that match, Matt?
No, I enjoyed the match. And like I said, I get why some people didn't like the finish. But I mean, it definitely fell in line to an old school War Games match.
Oh yeah.
And if they would have used a different camera angle on the fall after the match, it would have been fine. They fucked up by shooting up close when they shouldn't have. And it's just another lesson that unfortunately AEW needs to learn from.
Yeah. Would you think would this hold up as a match of the year candidate possibly?
Probably not. I don't think we'll be talking about this as the match of the year candidate by the end of the year. I really don't.
Yeah, I think we still have 3 pay-per-views this year. Double or Nothing, All Out.
To me, matches like that are more of a spectacle than match of the year candidates. Like I don't think we ever gave a match of the year nod to NXT War Games match.
Yeah, we have. Both of them they've won marquees before.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
Guarantee you.
I can't recall that I would have voted for one of them. As
guarantee. We had both men's and women's.
I could say that you probably put them in as a qualifier.
No.
I can't say that they won.
No, I guarantee you that I know when we put both men's and women's in there. I got it right here on my phone. I guarantee you that shoot, I deleted that. I have to go to one. I know both were nominated.
Yeah, nomination's one thing, winning is another.
But I'm pretty sure also won. Oh, come on. As I try to get fucking signed in to my marquees list. Here we go. All right.
Over here breaking.
Quit popping up shit, Microsoft. Just because Bill Gates is getting divorced doesn't mean you have to keep popping up shit. 2020 marquees.
JB over here working for Scopely.
Now I gotta find the match of the year. NXT match of the year. Let's see. Yep. NXT match of the year nominees, both men's and women's War Games were nominees, and men's War Games won.
I must have not been given a fuck that night.
You must have not, because that was the vote that we chose on.
Yeah, I to me, I would never want to deem a War Games match as a match of the year, because it's just, to me, it's not really. It's look, as it has been referenced in NWA and WCW, it is a match beyond. I don't put them in the same vein as like an Omega versus Okada, or Gargano versus Ciampa, or the Revival versus DIY, stuff like that. Like I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking that night. I was probably just like, let's just get this shit over with. I'm not digging my history's choice. Let me put it that way. Because to me, mentally, at this point in the game, it doesn't make any sense. So that's all I got to say about that.
What? Whoops. Let's see. I'm going back to last year, or not last year, 19 NXT match of the year. We had men's War Game match nominated, but did not win. We chose Gargano Cole 2 out of 3 falls.
See, that's a good match of the year.
Yeah. Because the nominees for the 2021
nominees are one thing, because sometimes we're just like, fuck, we gotta get shit put together, and type of deal. So
yeah, but match of the year is usually pretty much stands out for you, though. The other matches in that category for match of the year were Keith Lee, Dijakovic at TakeOver Portland, Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Balor at TakeOver 31.
Oh, now I remember why I went with War Games.
War Games.
I was mad at Teabag, and I didn't buy into the hype of Balor and O'Reilly. That's why I did. That's okay. I get it now. Look, if I wouldn't have been mad at Teabag at the time, there's no way I wouldn't have gone for Dijak and Keith Lee.
Teabag. Where are they at this week?
No one cares.
At home, washing their tights. Got an old Dean Malenko on camera, too. This checking on Jericho at the end of the night. And that shows Jericho or MJF on the cage posing like Jesus Christ. And he probably thinks he's better than Jesus Christ. So there you go. NXT this week. Very good evening. Falls Count Anywhere match. Leon Ruff and Swerve. That was pretty damn good, wasn't it?
I thought they started hot. And I thought they closed hot. I thought it was a really good episode of NXT this week.
Yeah. That was a big boy that Leon Ruff landed on as we found out that Swerve's got a posse now. That's a big boy.
That's AJ Francis of WWE Hidden Treasures fame. He's the guy that goes around with all the wrestlers to buy up the memorabilia back.
I've yet to see this Treasures yet. I'm gonna have to check that out.
He's from that show. I think that's why they debuted him this week, because they figured out people probably fucking recognize him by now.
Yeah.
So let's put him on TV.
Like Leon Ruff and Swerve low-key put out a hell of a feud together, man. And a good finish to that feud with the Last Man Standing match. Asher Hale from Evolve made his NXT debut against Cameron Grimes. And
to the moon, bitch. To the moon.
I can't wait for another DiBiase cameo.
Oh, the DiBiase cameo this week was tremendous.
This week?
You didn't see this week's?
The hell, did I miss it?
It was right before the main event. Cameron Grimes was going to the club where he bought the booth.
Oh man, I need to rewatch it. I somehow missed that.
And the guy's like, you can't have your booth because someone bought out the club for the night. And a freaking big white stretch limo with the dollar sign pulled up, and DiBiase gets out and he's like, why buy a seat when you can buy the whole club? Ha 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 ha.
Well,
and Grimes is like, damn you, Ted DiBiase!
Well, it's been a long week, and I probably was packing at the same time or something, so I somehow missed it.
You missed the greatness, sir.
I got it pulled up on YouTube, so we'll pull that up there. I'll watch that later when we get done recording. Another great feud that's going on in the NXT is the tag feud between Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher against the grizzled young veterans, soon to be NXT Tag Team Champions. I'm a big fan of both. I'm a big fan of both teams. Oh, I bet they will be eventually. Big fan of both teams. So it was good to see them guys feud. Had a pretty damn good match too. They went 15 minutes with Ciampa and Thatcher getting the win there. Man, like I said, two great teams there, so it was no surprise there. They got a big win. Next up, Karrion Kross comes out and cutting a promo. And then we got some guys showing up: Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, Finn Balor. They all want a shot at old Kross, and a little melee ensues. Maybe a fatal four-way at Takeover. Maybe we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, but I thought the I thought the Austin Theory Scarlet segment was pretty funny though. Which poor Austin's going to get fed to Karrion next week.
Oh well.
Are those real? Well, for some reason, you have an up-and-comer that gets a surprise upset win, and then you feed them to Saray, like they did with Zeta Ramir, who beat Tony Storm last week. And much like when Zoe Stark beat Tony Storm, and then she got fed to Saray. So it was kind of weird that they just want to halt the momentum of those two women right away. Okay, whatever.
50-50 pushing is alive and well in the black and gold brand, unfortunately.
Next up is my man.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah, L.A. Knight.
Yeah, speaking of 50-50.
Yeah, he's won a couple in a row now, so he's on the fast track brother. LA Knight getting the win over Jake Atlas. So 2 in a row for LA. Now I'm getting used to the name now, finally. I don't hate it anymore. Candice LeRae and Andy Hartwell getting ready for their tag team title match, and there's a little painting by Dexter Loomis, and Dexter looking all creepy with a dozen red roses in the doorway, and Candice closing the blinds and hiding the painting. Oh, this whole thing is just fun. Love it. Tony Storm cutting a promo saying that Zoe Stark didn't deserve to be in the same ring or locker room as her. And I guess we're setting up another match with them. More 50-50 booking, pal. Considering Tony's lost 2 matches in a row, they probably need her to beat Zoe Stark next match. Legado del Fantasma came out. And they talked. And looks like they want Mendoza and Wild won a tag team title match against MSK, while apparently Escobar and Kushida probably going to have a rematch down the line as well. Raquel Gonzalez, Mercedes Martinez interview. I was definitely packing during this because I don't remember that interview at all. It's been a long fucking week. Long fucking 2 weeks, we should say. Next week on NXT, Kushida, Santos Escobar, 2 out of 3 falls. Raquel Gonzalez takes on Mercedes Martinez, Karrion Kross and Austin Theory. Killian Dane against Alexander Wolf. And in the main event, NXT Women's Tag Team Championship Street Fight, Ember Moon, Shotzi Blackheart, the way. This was a damn good main event. I'm not really surprised at the title change, Matt, are you?
I was kind of surprised. I feel like they're really hot potato in those titles.
They are
early and often. So
the Way's done such a good job as a stable, though.
I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't deserve a run with the titles. I'm just saying I'm surprised with how much the company's flip flopping those titles early and often.
Yeah. So good addition of NXT. Good addition of Dynamite. We go to SmackDown, where Bianca Belair leads things off, interrupted by the Dirty Dogs, and then the Street Profits come out, and then Bayley comes out. So Teddy Long comes out and says, "Let's make a 6-person tag match, playa." And that's what we got. Not
really, because the match was scheduled before the show went on the air, but all right.
Okay. The good guys get the win there. They show a bunch of people's predictions throughout the night of who's going to win between Reigns and Daniel Bryan. We got ourselves a Tamina and Natalya taking on Nia and Shayna. They get the win there, so I think they're going to be clearly the next ones to face for the women's tag titles. Maybe take it off. I think it's almost about time they take them off of Jackson Baszler, but every time I say it's time to take them off, they retain. So I don't know. Ray and Dominic Mysterio were interviewed by Kayla, talking about how great they are to team that they're teaming together and going for the tag titles that they should have won at WrestleMania. But hey, who am I? Aleister Black's second vignette aired. What do you think of these vignettes here, Matt?
I think they suck, to be perfectly honest, but at the same token, I'm happy to see the guy's going to get back on TV. Right. So look, if he comes back on and he actually wins matches, fine. But they have a lot to prove to me that they're going to actually use Aleister Black properly once he comes back. And so I don't know if I trust them to do that.
These vignettes have a lot of similarities to the Tien Sha with Xia Li and Boa. It's almost exactly kind of similar, different story, but almost a similar animation and all that stuff. Apollo Crews took on Big E for the Intercontinental title, which ended up being a DQ thanks to Aziz, and then KO came in. And Sami Zayn came in. That was an awesome haluva kick by Sami Zayn, by the way. Sammy thought he was aligned with Apollo and Aziz, which I think he would fit great with those two, with his gimmick. But Aziz thought otherwise, gave him the old Nigerian nail. Paul Heyman with an awesome promo leading up to the main event tonight, later on that night. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. This was a hell of a match, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, great match.
If this is the swan song for Bryan in WWE, this was a hell of a nearly half-hour match to go out on. I've seen some people say it's one of the best matches in SmackDown history, going that far.
Hard to argue that, to be honest.
Right. I mean, the one that
this is a match we could look back at the end of the year as being a match of the year candidate.
Yeah, exactly. SmackDown history. And I already wrote it down on the old phone after I watched it. Right there. Marquise, WWE Match of the Year. It's in there. It's the only one I've written in so far for WWE, by the way. Man, what does he do, Matt? What does he do?
It's a good question, man. Whatever the hell he wants to do, honestly. He has all the power now. If his contract's really legit up, he holds all the cards.
I want him to go to either AEW or NXT. I know he wants to go to NXT, but
Daniel Bryan wants to go everywhere.
Yeah, but man,
that's the thing about AEW.
If the final countdown
Tony
hits,
Khan
double or nothing,
let Daniel Bryan go anywhere.
Yeah,
probably not WWE, obviously,
hey!
but Impact, NWA, New Japan, shit like that. Tony Khan's gonna let Daniel Bryan do it if Daniel Bryan wants to do it. So if Daniel Bryan seriously wants to go around and wrestle for multiple companies, AEW is his most likely destination that would allow him the freedom to do that. So,
God, imagine a Bryan and Joe feud in AEW. Ooh-wee.
Bryan, Joe, Omega triple threat match. CM Punk show up, make it a fatal 4-way, brother.
Man,
that'll be match of the decade.
Cult of Personality.
That fatal 4-way right there.
Cult of Personality, one of my favorite karaoke songs to do. And I do it good. I've never done the final countdown. I always thought about trying it, but never have. If Danielson comes back, I will do it at karaoke. Like, my wrestling has been Cult of Personality and Judas. I do a lot of Judas. My friends love to hear me do Judas, so I do Judas. Raw happened. Oh, hey, Styles and Omos are here after their vacation. Then the New Day came out and they did some talking, and then we got ourselves a Raw Tag Title match, which predictably AJ Styles and Omos retain. What do you think about Eva Marie being back, Matt? Finally.
Well, we knew she was signed last year. I mean, and that's what baffles me. All the people are like, "Oh my god, you fired."
Yeah, the marks.
You fired the Iconics and Mickey James, and you signed Eva Marie. No, dumbasses. They signed Eva Marie back in fucking October.
Yeah,
the two things are not fucking related. Is the timing? Is it poor timing on WWE's part? Yeah, probably. But it's not like they fired those people and then went and hired somebody else. That's not how this fucking worked.
Fucking marks. Yeah, a bunch of shit happened. Flair took on Dana Brooke. Quick 5-minute match. Kept on the figure eight, so Mandy attacked Charlotte after that. So probably gonna have Mandy and Charlotte next week. Then we got, of course, this struggle of power with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. I liked it so much better when we just had Adam Pearce, basically an impartial guy, be like the matchmaker, and we didn't have this tyrannical people in power like WWE has done for decades. But oh well, here we are now. I just want to see Sonya wrestle again. But anyways. So yeah, we got, I guess, you know, add Charlotte to that title picture. They ain't taking it off of Rhea already, are they?
Dude, I'm not confirming anything on that. I would not be surprised to see a title change. I really wouldn't.
Damian Priest and John Morrison took on each other. That was a good match, actually. One of the bright spots of Raw. Priest getting the win there. Mansoor as officially became a member of Monday Night Raw. So Sheamus walking in and basically giving a Mansoor the old challenge. Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin took on Lucha House Party. You know it's going bad when Lucha House Party beat you. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because then they broke up. And I thought Shelton had a great promo backstage, though, afterwards. I thought it was really good. And Shelton and Cedric, that'll be a good match if they give it time. On Raw, they made the announcement that Young Rock officially is going to go to season 2, which is good. I like that show. Gulak took on Angel Garza. After the match, Angel Garza shoved a rose up Gulak's ass and kicked it. That was interesting. I bet Vince just loved that spot. We got a unique backstage spot with Matt Riddle and the Viking Raiders. It's just, these spots are funny as hell. Then he tried talking to Randy, but Randy's pissed because he got pelted by a tomato earlier. Seriously, tomato throwing, Matt? What is this, the 1920s, Russ? What the fuck? Talk about your dumb ideas. Anyways, but RK Bro, as Matt said, one of the best things going on Raw right now. They defeated Elias and Jackson Riker in like 5 minutes. So Sheamus took on Mansoor. Ended up in a DQ, though, because Humberto Carrillo showed up. So obviously he got attacked earlier in the evening. So now we're going to have a couple of young up-and-comers chasing Sheamus for the U.S. title, which is cool. You know, Sheamus will put over, make one of those two young guys a star. Wouldn't be surprised if Mansoor takes that title from Sheamus. I would not be surprised. We got some more Alexa Bliss and her doll. And I think we're getting closer and closer for her to starting a feud with somebody. Interesting to see who they would start it with. I don't even know. Who's even on the damn roster for the women? Naomi and Lana, maybe? I don't know. Somebody's going to get fed to Alexa eventually. Just like Naomi and Lana got fed to Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler. That match was literally 2 minutes long. But we ended it with a good main event. Lashley and Strowman, a couple of big bulls going at it. That was a good main event with Bobby Lashley getting the win. And that was Raw. Yay, Matt, right?
Was something.
Man. Head to headlines before we wrap it up tonight. NXT TakeOver Dublin, unfortunately canceled. Both Ticketmaster and the 3 Arena in Dublin have listed it as a canceled event. Of course, it was originally scheduled in April 2020. We were supposed to get Finn Balor and Walter. And then COVID happened, and all fucking hell broke loose for a year. All right. Holy crap. There's been some ongoings in the Matt Riddle Samantha Tavel lawsuit, and she wants $10 million to settle. Holy crap.
To me, if you want to settle on a thing like this, you're lying to begin with. To
Oh,
me,
yeah.
this should, and in a case like this, it shouldn't be about the fucking money. It should be about seeking justice.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're putting down a figure like that to settle tells me that you're lying to begin with.
7 zeros in that one, Matt. 7 zeros.
It's ridiculous, man. I just that stuff is so serious.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff should not be a fucking joke. It
No.
shouldn't be something that people use against, an ex.
There should be prosecution on the other side of things too.
Yeah,
False accusation.
if you're falsifying shit, yeah, there absolutely should be. And I think it's disgusting because it's such a serious subject and it's such a serious issue, and it should be taken with the utmost seriousness. And when you have stuff like this going on, it demeans the entire process. That stuff like this should be taken care of.
It looks like Riddle has his shit together, but the other side is not contacting back or anything like that. Could go to trial, but the earliest it would go to trial is May of 2022. But it looks like
crazy, man.
Well, and people are wondering why Riddle was back on TV. I guarantee you he had proof, and he has proof now, and that's why his lawyers are talking and hers aren't. And so that's why he was back on TV, and Vince loves him and puts birds out and all that fun stuff. Mick Foley comes out and calls out Vince McMahon, saying to create an all-women's WWE brand. Like he's going to do that. Vince doesn't. I don't know who said it. If it was Mickey James or I can't remember who, but Vince does not believe women's wrestling makes money, so he's not going to create a brand of women. I mean, he hasn't even done a second Evolution pay-per-view, for Christ's sake, when everybody loved that pay-per-view, and it probably did good numbers on viewership, and he has yet to create another one. So that should tell you all he thinks about women's wrestling. Sure, it's gotten a better spotlight than the Divas getting 2-minute matches and that 1 2-minute match on Raw, but still, ain't gonna happen under Vince. Going to some ratings here. Impact Wrestling slipped down to 120,000 last week. A lot of that probably due to the NFL draft.
I was gonna say they're going head to head with the fucking NFL draft, so
which I watched. I watched Impact on. I don't know if I mentioned this on air, if I was before we recorded and I was talking to Matt, but fucking the Impact app, the free part of the app, literally has they put out Impact like an hour or two after it ends, which is fucking cool. So I watched the draft. Once that got over, I popped in Impact and watched it real quick on the app. So that was a good deal there.
Yeah, I did not watch the draft. I watched Impact last week. So I just don't care.
Even with
I think this is the first year in like 20 years I didn't watch the draft. I just don't care.
I'm pretty excited who I got.
I just
at quarterback.
Yeah, I don't give the flyingest of fucks.
SmackDown also had to face the draft. They slipped down about 80 grand. About 80,000 down to 1.923 million. Raw goes up a little bit, actually 100,000. Did they gain 100,000 people, even though the show continues to suck ass? Strong hour number 2, almost 2 million, but then they dropped down to 1.75 for hour 3. Young Rock season finale got 2.36 million, which was basically about what they were getting on average for the last couple of weeks. They were floating with the high 2s and the mid 2s for a while. So season finale kind of slipping with the second to last episode as well, but still good enough numbers for a season 2.
They're doing very well digitally.
Yeah.
Like the digital on demand for that show is apparently breaking records.
The P of cock
for NBC. So
Peacock and Hulu.
Which I really think is, honestly, I think a lot of cable companies are caring more about that now than, the overnight numbers. I think network and cable are looking more at the well beyond the overnights, in what they're doing. So
Yeah. NXT slight increase to 761 compared to Impact, AEW, which Blood and Guts brought him back over a million, 1.09 million for the Blood and Guts episode. Week before dipped down to 889,000 after they had back-to-back million weeks.
yeah, they were up against the president's address, which dominated cable television for last week.
Yep.
So I mean that was understandable, but still, it's still a pretty damn good number, even going up against something like that that's dominating television.
Yeah,
that's still
and this
relatively
week,
a high number for them.
This week you have the Masked Singer still on, so
yeah.
Their second best demo, 1849 demo of the year, 0.42. Their best demo of the year was just on the April 14th edition where they popped at 1.2 million after being alone on Wednesday nights. Their first alone one was the best demo of the year at 0.44.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to their ratings when the Masked Singer season ends, because I think they're going to get a nice little bump, and I think it's going to be really good for them while that show's off the air for a while.
Yeah, they're only a 10th behind Raw on the demo. The Raw always gets a high demo. They're like at a 0.55 or something right now. They're only about a 10th behind that right now. WWE files for a new trademark called Top Dollar, whatever that means.
I guarantee that's something to do with Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes. Moving on. Peacock in May. We're gonna have Drew and A with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest, but I guess Drew interviewing Austin, McIntyre interviewing Austin. I don't know. We're gonna have a Broken Skull Sessions. Do you know who's this month is?
Nope, I haven't heard.
Bailey's already been on, right?
I think so. I feel like I've seen that. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I've seen that.
I don't think they've announced who it's going to be. Don't think they've announced it yet. And WWE Icons Revisited are Rob Van Dam. And he's also going to be on WWE Icons. Damian Priest, WWE Chronicle, and then already out there now, WWE Untold, two dudes with attitudes. They have added to the library the best of Andre the Giant, Braun Strowman, Backlash, and Rob Van Dam. Those are also added to the Peacock library. New Ring of Honor television champion crown. Tony Deppen defeated Tracy Williams on Ring of Honor television. Kenny Omega, of course, he has a lot of belts. One of them is the Mega Championship at AAA. And he may have a challenger, little Twitter back and forth with him and Andrade, huh? Maybe. Bring that over to AEW. All right. Got from PW Insider. Oh, it's not coming up yet. Okay. I was seeing if I could find maybe who was going to be on Broken Skull. They may not have announced it yet. Chelsea Green revealed that she underwent surgery to remove a metal plate from her arm, of course, from when she hurt herself there on her SmackDown debut. Unfortunate. But hopefully in July we'll see her somewhere else. I'm sure we will. Probably with her fiance. Congrats to new-ish announcer, interviewer in WWE, Kevin Patrick. The birth of their daughter just happened there a couple of days ago, so congrats to Kevin. Probably explains why we didn't see him on Raw, because it just happened a couple of days ago. We got a new trio coming. Get excited for this one. Jinder Mahal being paired up with Indus Sher, and of all places that they debuted them on was main event.
Says all you need to know about caring about this group.
There have been a lot of rumors regarding AEW and Tessa Blanchard. Mike Johnson, PW Insider, says, nope, kill those rumors. They were interested.
Fightful killed them too.
Interested in signing her and Daga. Are they married yet, or?
It's my understanding that they're married.
Yep, they're married. Of course, Daga, you might know him on Lucha Underground if you saw that show back in the day. WWE is filming a documentary on the Nexus. That'll be an interesting, especially this far out. And I wonder if they'll talk about how much they fucked them over by having John Cena win. I saw a poll the other day that was like, what was the... I don't know who did the poll, if it was Fightful or somebody. It was like, if you could change the event, change the outcome of one match in WWE history, which one would you change? And like the winner was Nexus losing to Cena by a landslide. Good old Vince booking, huh, pal? And WWE has trademarked Asher Hale. Of course, he debuted on NXT this week, coming over from Evolve. And Goldberg has applied trademarks to a couple logos. Mike Johnson, PW Insider, states that the RK Bro team is going to be getting a sizable push going forward, and the plan is to keep this duo together. It's not a short-term deal. Merchandise for RK Bro coming out soon.
You know damn right. Street.
Cedric Alexander a heel and Shelton Benjamin a face, says Mike Johnson. I think those are pretty obvious that they're doing those, but Slammiversary. Oh boy, that's the old 90-day pay-per-view, we should call it.
Yeah.
Saturday, July 17th is the schedule. It's going to air live from Nashville. And oh boy, who's going to show up?
My butt.
Your butt's going to show up? Is your butt on a 90-day no compete clause?
It is.
Oh my.
Oh, you didn't know? My butt better call somebody.
Wow. So like when your butt makes its return or debut after the 90-day no compete, will Tony Schiavone go? But say butt instead.
He's gonna talk about butts in the seats, buddy.
More Peacock updates for your ass as we continue the ass talk. A full year of 1997 WCW Nitro, the 2006 World's Greatest Wrestling Managers documentary, which is a damn good one. Go check that out. 2012's Top 100 Moments in Raw History DVD. 2015 Ring in the Holidays special. 2016's Top 50 Incidents in ECW History. The Elias Live from Bourbon Street special from 2018, and the Best of Braun Strowman. Is I think the push is to try to get most of the content in by SummerSlam is the plan on Peacock.
SummerSlam.
Impact Wrestling announces a Samsung Plus deal. Plus is like they're basically, because I have a Galaxy, it's basically Pluto TV, free TV with ads on your phone. I was disappointed though to hear, we talked about the Impact on Plex deal a couple weeks ago. That's not the case, Matt, because it's not a live stream of Access TV. It's a Access TV Now is what it's called, and it doesn't pair up with cable. So that there's a rumor killer for you. But Impact Wrestling basically has a channel on a lot of those free TV things, anyways, where you could see a lot of old content. WWE Network style, basically with a live feed. But I don't think it shows Impact Wrestling live. This article is just a press release, so it doesn't even talk about that. So I'm thinking it's just like all the other Pluto TV and stuff where they have an Impact channel and you can watch all the old shit. I do know they play a lot of recent Impacts on that channel too, but nothing I don't think too quickly after it airs on Access. So Dark Side of the Ring season 3 debuted on tonight, actually, on Vice TV. Brian Pillman. That'll be very interesting to see, just with everything that's gone on in his life. Teaming with Steve Austin to the WWE days, the Gun, and of course, the tragic end to his life. And there has been a Dark Side marathon all day, which is, I think, ended by the time we got done talking. But there you go. Dave Bautista talked with Digital Spy recently to promote his upcoming movie Army of the Dead, which hits Netflix May 21st and theaters on the 14th. Turned down James Gunn's role on Suicide Squad for the Army of the Dead movie. And he said the reason why he did that is because, he had the Suicide Squad where he got to work with his boy gun, even though it was a smaller role. Then I had Army of the Dead where I got to work with Zack Snyder. I got to build a relationship with Netflix, and I got a lead role in a great film. And I got paid a lot more money. And also, he wants to play Bane. And if Zack Snyder continues to do DC Universe stuff, I think it'd be
which doesn't sound likely.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, that's a whole weird fucking situation anyways.
Again, a can of worms, brother.
I can't wait for Army of the Dead though. Blood and Guts. Yeah, okay. I think even though I think it said live on the thing, the whole show was pre-taped except for Blood and Guts. That match was live, obviously, because I know there are a lot of shots where you didn't even see the cage. So everything was pre-taped up, but I swear to God, the live logo was on there. Anyways. But it makes sense to do that just because setting up the two cages and all that shit, takes a lot of time. What? AEW offered refunds to fans who came believing they were getting a complete live broadcast. Oh. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's anything else. Cody Rhodes was busted open the hard way by this match with QT Marshall. Right above the eye. Man, that looked pretty gruesome. And as Matt said earlier, several talents in the Blood and Guts match busted open the hard way. And of course, go check out Sammy Guevara's Twitter or Instagram to see how badly he got beat up. Bully Ray on Twitter. Did you see this one, Matt, from yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it.
If I'm management or owners of Impact Wrestling, I'd be fucking fuming that their world heavyweight champion was carried out by Naka nobody and not at least over the shoulder of Omega. Perception is reality. What do you think about that, Matt?
Whatever. I think he's overthinking it, to be perfectly honest.
Good. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of belts the man's got to carry. And our final note of the night, for the first time in 20 years, PW Pro Wrestling Tees has Brian Pillman gear for you to purchase. There's even a Hollywood Blonde shirt. Pretty cool. Of course, all that probably piggybacking off Dark Side of the Ring. So I'm going to go watch Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes because somehow I missed that. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. So I'll go back and watch that. But thank you for tuning into Lost in the Midcard. Once again, you can catch us. Thank you to spiderduck.net for enabling us to be on iTunes and Spotify. Any of your favorite podcasting apps, just search for Lost in the Midcard. Give us a subscribe there. We're also on the YouTube, trying to get a push for new subscribers. So if you're only a listener, just give us a little solid by subscribing on the YouTube as well. If you go to facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard or Twitter at LITMC Podcast, be your links to YouTube there, where we also share a lot of great tweets throughout the wrestling world. Matt's on the Twitter at Rob Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we go right off into that sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I think we're going to get another good week of wrestling next week. I'm excited for the Dynamite, which is arguably just as big of a card this week as it was next week as it was this week.
Fucking pay-per-view.
And yeah, we got a pay-per-view a few weeks after that. I think we're gonna be in for a good month of pro wrestling, sir.
We're getting a pay-per-view on Wednesday. Just going down that card, man. We're getting a damn pay-per-view on Wednesday. Good show on Tuesday for NXT too. At least 2 good matches on that card, so it'll be interesting to see. So for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We will catch you next week. Should be there at our regular time on Thursday next week. Have a good one.